And does it seem that today is a little darker somehow, a little less sunny, a little less enjoyable? What's gone on? What has happened? What happened between now and Friday that would allow this sense of darkness? Let me think. What would bring on this kind of despair?
Well, I got good news for you, Mike.
Oh, you do you? Doug
I
Carey
do.
from Bell Lifestyle Products. What is the good news?
So at Bell, we've been anticipating what was going to happen on the weekend. And we did come up with a new product.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's a Game 7 multiverse supplement. And it doesn't work so much on the fans, but it works on the refs.
Oh, I see. Oh, this is
Yeah.
a very different take, I see.
Absolutely. They no longer consider picking a penalty.
See, you can tell that the scientists were Leaf fans by what they have come up with. I see, because I said, a Game 7 pill. Is it like the morning after pill? I don't know. Maybe there's something to it. I just know that at this point, there is no medication. There is no magic pill. And sadly, whatever it is, you're getting again next year. It's sort of like saying, congratulations, you no longer have this terrible disease. Thank you. But you will have it for one more year, and particularly painful in the spring.
Well, that's why we came up with this multiverse supplement, because we know that for the next 20 years, we're going to have a market.
So. Yeah, it's sold out every year. Well, I'll tell you, it is in this area, as you know, as I just read one of the headlines, that Toronto is in hockey hell. It really does feel like, or the insanity of the same thing happening over and over again. We even talked about the odds in our last segment. They did it by the numbers. In order to lose in these first round situations, in 5 of them, 1 in 28,000 to be able to do it every time in that first round. 1 in 28,000. Yeah, and yet they found a way. It is horrible, because there's really you can't trade you out of this. There's no free agency out of this. There's no drafting out of this. No one's going to want what you want. And to get better, what you'd have to give up, you can't give up. You've got way too much money, way too much term. I've just never really seen anything comparable to what this is. And it's not about futility. It's about your ability to get out of this. And so you're going to, if you didn't like the faces that you saw this year, or the faces that you saw in the playoffs, kind of too bad. Suck it up, because they're coming back.
It's not like they played that bad. You're just a really good team.
No, they played champions. Yeah. And they played guys who are going to be in the Hall of Fame, and they played guys who were all world. But your all world guys didn't show up at times where they really needed to be. No. They didn't do what Johnny Gaudreau did out in Calgary. They didn't do what Connor McDavid did in Edmonton. That's kind of what has to happen. And Zibanejad back in New York. It's they have to do it. So maybe they're the ones who need that number 305 liquid multivitamin we've all been waiting for. Maybe we got to talk to the Leafs and get them on this, because this is something that this is not overnight. This is something you've been working on this for a while.
Yeah. So today we're releasing our number 305, our liquid multivitamin, and we've been working on. Well, we've had a liquid multivitamin for quite a number of years, and we went back to the drawing table, and we wanted to make something better. We wanted to address some needs people had, like getting energy and supporting immune system. So we reformulated it, and today we're launching it. It's a liquid multi.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
And the big advantages of having something like that is that it's got all the essential vitamins that you need. But when it's in a liquid form, you really get superior absorption. So like when you take it down, you don't have to break down a pill like you do on other multivitamins. And, things like gummies, you just can't get enough of the vitamins into the gummy. So you're not really getting a full dose. Where in the liquid, you're getting everything you need, plus some other stuff. And you can take that any way you want. So you can either put it into your smoothie in the morning, or you can put it into your protein shake. Or for me, I just do a 15 ml shot. Mm-hmm. And presto. It tastes really good.
It also looks that motion that you did there very familiar for some reason. I don't.
Yeah, for some of us, it's just natural, right?
Oh, that's great stuff. I mean, look, and I think in terms of what people need these days. I mean, the world right now, for the lack of a better term, is exhausting. People are exhausted by the like COVID, just because we seem to have finally, you kind of outrun it, but we'll never totally outrun it. It's here to stay. The protocols that we've gone through and the separation of family was a huge drain emotionally. I think that when you turn on the television, when you see a war going on, when you see then financial strife because of that war, it is really difficult in terms of getting back to normality to feel good. And part of that is all those real simple things that we need to happen in our bodies that in times of strife and stress, we ignore. We just do. We just ignore it. So having something like this, a liquid multivitamin, I can guarantee you that in this household, this will be a product. The 305 is going to be something they're going to want to have, because I just know how we feel in this house, and I really think when it comes to supporting energy, trying to get back to an active lifestyle, this does all of that. Helps with all of that.
Well, it does, and none of us eat, totally right. I like to say that, I'm eating everything, getting all my vegetables, getting all my vitamins through the food I eat, but very few people do. And so this is something, it's, some people call it an insurance policy, because if you're not getting everything you should, you can get it through your multivitamin. So getting a really good multivitamin like this liquid multivitamin is a great way to ensure you're getting everything you need. And to your point about, these are tough times, a lot of things going on in the news, not so great things. You get stressed, you get tired, fatigued. And so we added a few things to it. We added Siberian ginseng, which helps relieve just general weakness of fatigue, and it helps with recovery. So this is what we call adaptogens, and they help your body actually adapt to the stress and deal with it, better than it would without. We also added ashwagandha, and that's another adaptogen, and it's another one that helps you cope with stress, as well as improving your mood and giving you some energy, and gives you a little more mental alertness as well.
Well, let me tell you something. I also, because you just brought up something I think that's interesting. We talk about some of these big world-known difficulties that bring the stress level and sort of anxiety to our lives. But it reminds me of a time. There's a buddy of mine at the time, a hardcore gym guy. Like, he went to the gym and he went hard every day. It was a big part of what he did. So he was an active guy. He pretty much ate pretty well. Like, he had a good diet, but he was going through a divorce. And I watched him lilt. Like, it was this sagging that I saw of him almost spiritually, that, at the time I never thought about it until you talking about this. But some of those life stresses, and if you're going through something like that, it is life sucking. It is hard to find recovery in something, because look, there's a lot of ways you can deal with it. Most of them not good, not healthy. If you're going through that kind of pressure, maybe, have a couple more drinks, a couple more beers, maybe another bottle of wine, because that's kind of what we do when it gets to that life stress. Your job stress. We talk about these companies that have gone under. I mean, these are the kinds of issues I think of when you start talking about what this does. When you talk about your mood, to be in a better mood sometimes. I know it is. You might go to a bar, or you might, like, the things that probably aren't good for you. That's what we do. That's why this just such a great option. And in the liquid form, I'd have to think maybe it's easier. Maybe it's just easier.
Well, it's not something you're thinking of all the time, right? You just know that you're tired, and you know that you're stressed, and you're not thinking, hey, what can I do about it? Sometimes you just go along and, like you say, maybe have a drink or something, or just sit on the couch and stare at the TV. You're not really doing anything to help yourself. And, it's especially at those times when you're not eating well. You either don't want to eat, or the stuff you eat is sort of crap. So you're not eating well anyways. So to, help your body cope with that, you take something like a liquid multivitamin. The good thing about it, because it's really good absorption, is you're going to get those effects immediately. So it's not like you have to digest it like a pill. You're going to get it directly. you take it with whatever food you're eating, and you're sort of good to go. And as you keep taking it every day, you're going to find yourself feeling a little better, a little better. If you're uh, depleted in some of those key vitamins, there are some vitamins you absolutely need to function. And if you don't have those, your body will start showing you the signs that, you're missing something. So to make sure you take something every day, you're eventually just going to feel a little better. And certainly with the addition of those adaptogens, which are going to work on the stress and, your mental state, not to mention your immune system, it's really going to help. And, you're really doing yourself a favor by doing that.
Well, I see it's also GMO free, allergen free, which exists in a lot of the products, quite frankly, that Bell creates.
Yes. Yeah. And we try to do that with all our products if we can. You can't do it with every single product for various reasons, but we make a big effort ensuring that the ingredients that we use are tested by third parties. So it's not just our testing, we have it tested by third parties to make sure they're safe, make sure they're effective. And, we source our ingredients to make sure they're GMO free. And we look for ingredients that are going to be allergen free. So for those who have allergies, especially food allergies like soy or gluten or dairy, we want to make sure that we can accommodate those people.
Now, again, off the top, we saw you sort of taking it with, a liquid. So you could put this in what, orange juice, or, I mean, I don't know if people have protein shakes or whatever. I mean, that's like basically
Yeah.
that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, so we made this really refreshing citrus flavor, and I've tried a
Oh,
lot
okay.
of liquid multivitamins, and they're sort of gross to take,
Hmm.
very medicinal. But this one's really good citrus flavor. It's light, so you can drink it like a shot, no problem. But if you don't want to take it that way, you can throw it in your orange juice.
Hmm.
You can certainly throw it in things like smoothies or protein shakes, any drink that you want to, take in the morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever you normally take your multivitamin. You can throw it in there, and you're not necessarily going to taste it if you put it in there. So if you don't like a refreshing citrus flavor, you can take it other ways.
Well, this also, like a lot of the products, when we talk about these supplements, they also go with other supplements. I mean, I guess you can always check with your doctor, depending if you do have a medical condition, if you are taking some kind of medication. But when you start talking about this liquid multivitamin, you also have the Supreme Immune Boosters. You've got shark liver oil, Virex, the cold and flu immune support, like a lot of things to do with our immune system, where they did go hand in hand. If you want to combine some of them, that it's not necessary, it's not pharmaceutical. So, I mean, you can always check, but basically it's okay to take more than one of these things.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if it's cold and flu season, you can take some of our immune products for that at the same time as taking your liquid multi. Liquid multivitamin is a really good base for everything else. So these are things that you would get in your food anyway. So there's really not interference with a lot of other things that you're taking. You're right. You should always talk to your physician about, just tell them that you're taking liquid multivitamin, just so they know, in case there's any contraindications. But like I said, this is stuff you get from your food anyway. So it's not necessarily going to be bad for you to combine it with other great supplements. And you don't really need to change your daily routine with what you're taking today. The liquid multivitamin just ensures you're getting everything you need to get. And then we've thrown in the adaptogens just to make sure that you're feeling a little better and got a little more energy and a little more, kick to your step. And it's just going to make you healthier all around.
Well, I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, in my situation, which a lot of people may find themselves, which is if you had something done medically that is relatively major. So, of course, as a cancer survivor, I still do have some issues and some procedures that they're still doing to fix everything up. So, I mean, we're all good. Like it's just, but I mean, there's a lot of, plumbing issues when you have what I had. So they're going back in, they're doing stuff. So I get run down. So you feel like you're not quite 100%. You feel like you use a boost. Well, that's what I can tell you. This will be first on my list to start using this, because in that recovery, when you have to go into the doctor, when you have to have all these procedures and you come out, you need a little help, because if you're not getting it from your diet, which is almost all of us, you're going to have to find it from somewhere else. And I can as I said, I am sure that this will be just tops on the list. This is actually great timing, Doug.
Yeah, and like everyone's been waiting for this for so long. We've had stores asking us over the last couple of years, where's your new liquid multivitamin? We can't wait. And I think everyone's really excited. We finally got this to the market. And I know I've been taking it now for a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It's been great. I love the taste, which, like I said, that's unusual for liquid multivitamin. So that's, a big step. And for those people who can't take tablets, they can't swallow those big pills and stuff, it's ideal for them too, right? So older people or anyone who doesn't like to swallow big pills,
Mm-hmm.
this is a much better alternative.
Oh, watching my wife take a pill, I swear to God, it's like an exorcism. I'm going, what are you doing? What? I'm surprised she doesn't ask for an old priest and a young priest. Like what is that you're doing? And it's just like an Advil, like it's unbelievable. So yeah, this is going to be very popular in my household. Hey, Dougie, thanks so much for joining us this morning. Always great products, always great stuff. And this is a home run for sure. So once again, if people are saying, okay, great, what is it? Makes it easy winning your bell because you do it by the numbers. It's number 305. Look for it where you pick up your supplements. Liquid Multivitamin. It is going to be fantastic. Doug, thanks so much for this morning. Always great catching up with you.
Thanks for having me, and go Leafs go. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oops. Go Jays go.
Yeah, or take it with vodka in that case. I mean, if that's what you're going to do, right? Fantastic stuff. That's Bell Lifestyle Products. Once again, number 305, Liquid Multivitamin.